All right, everybody. I know it's been a day or two since I did the First Descendant. I apologize. There's been other stuff going on. Just didn't have a lot of news, and I'm not going to really talk about gameplay until I have the opportunity to actually play the game. So I've done quite a bit. I talked a little bit last night in last night's stream about what I thought about some of the closed beta testing that was done, and I think the negatives that go with having large streamers do the closed betas instead of looking at the actual qualifications of the gamer. It's a whole different topic. But what I wanted to do a video on today was quickly, they made a post about Steam beta test details. Very pleased to, this is on their site, I'll link it down below. It's also on the Steam page. We are very pleased to introduce the First Descendant for the first time through Steam beta test. This is an open one, hopefully. Prior to the test, we will guide you through the details of the Steam beta test. Please click your location. Your location's beginning and end time for the test. So you can see that they've told you where everything's going to start. And on the 20th, it'll start at 0 PDT, ends on the 26th at basically 2400 PDT. New York, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, this is not PM. They're using military time for those that would like to know. And then they give the various times throughout the world. So again, if you want to know when this is going to be, hit the link in the bottom description below. While you're down there, hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. I would appreciate it. There'll be more of this stuff coming. Here's what I'm most interested in right here is what they're talking about the system requirements for the game. Minimum and recommended. So you need to be playing Windows 10. I do not know if it'll run on Windows 11. I would assume it does, but it's not mentioned. Not sure. CPU minimum is an i5, Intel i7, or an AMD FX 8350, or a 2600X. Not a lot of CPU usage here. My better guess is this is going to be more GPU driven since it's Unreal. They may recommend a minimum of 8 gigs of RAM, or minimum of 8 gig, recommended 16. Apparently a 1050 Ti or a RX 57 will run the game. I'm guessing that's going to be the lowest modes, which is not going to be really beneficial since you want to see the beauty of the game. They recommend a RTX 2060 or a Radeon RX 5600 XT. Having seen some of the footage and everything from the streams, I'm going to go and say you're probably going to have better performance with a Super or a 2080 or a 3000 series card, just because it's newer and has more oomph to it. But if they were able to keep good performance at higher graphics with this setting, that's going to be phenomenal. I'm looking forward to seeing how this will run from a single system because I game, all my PC games are gamed and streamed from the same system. So I got to see how this is going to work out. Hopefully it works well. Otherwise, I'll get the laptop out and have to set that up as the stream box. All right, now we're going to come over here. Steam beta contents. We have 3 characters, it looks like. So look, we can start out with Lepic, Ajax, and Vesa. I will be starting with Ajax at this case, and it looks like we get the Kingston, Albania Mountains, and Red Desert for locations, various sponsors, weapon kills, and everything else. A total of 10 characters are playable. These are the 3 that are highlighted. I'm not sure if this is what we get to start with. We'll find out. Again, I have another video that'll be linked at the end of this video that you can go watch that breaks down all the classes here. Total of 8 void intercept battles. Raids allow you to experience this. We have different void battles raid, and supposedly they're going to be both regular and hard mode. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that works and how well their matchmaking works for doing that, because I don't have a squad to run with. If you guys are looking for people to join up with you in the game and you get in the Steam beta, please let me know. I'm looking for a team to run with. This is the biggest one right here. When will I know if I've been chosen as a tester? The Steam will send you an email regarding the result of the tester recruitment close to when the test will begin. It hasn't come out yet. They haven't made any statements on it yet. We tweeted yesterday. Somebody said, yeah, everyone's going to get in. I'm not too worried about it, but we'll see. I'm assuming we won't get to preload, and if we do, it's going to be pretty close to launch time. Unfortunately, on this round 2, for people asking if it's on the console for the beta right now, there is no console beta. It is coming to the console when it releases. No release date. This is only on Steam, and for 1 week. There'll be an ability to report bugs by the official site and all this stuff, which I plan to make sure that I do. One thing that I think falls short many times in these beta tests is we don't give thorough enough feedback with an objective perspective. I am not approaching this game as a Destiny 2 game or Destiny 2 killer. I'm not approaching this as an Outriders game. I'm not approaching this. I'm approaching this as a new game that is in beta that they're wanting feedback on. I'm approaching it from a technical standpoint since it's Unreal Engine 5. I want to see how that performs, how well that plays, what the possibilities are. I want to see what the bugs are and get those in there. I want to see what the characters play like, what the fine interest of the mechanics are each one, how they separate. I also want to go in and see what everyone was talking about with the missions not having enough variety to them and see if I can figure that on my own. But I'm really trying to approach this game with a full open perspective. That way I can provide proper feedback. One of the biggest things I have a complaint with is recently that I see a lot of times in beta tests, and these guys are just going for clickbait. Streamers are just, they're here for the clickbait. And it really does take a toll on whether or not the game is good, because all of a sudden you get this negative impression from a streamer that you may or may not like, but they've got a lot of followers, and you're like, oh, if he says it's bad, then it's got to be bad. I'm not taking that approach. I'm going in clean slate. I'm excited for the game for what it is. I've read up on the game. I've done a few videos on it, so I do understand what they're trying to accomplish, and I'm not going to look at it any other way. I also understand it's a free-to-play game. There is monetization. How much of it is in the game and whether or not there's a pay-to-win functionality to it. They did say that they're not trying to go with that model, but we'll never know. Anyways, if you plan to play from the 20th to the 26th, let me know in the comments below. If you need someone for your squad, let me know. I'll be playing on Steam, of course, since it's the only place you can play. And I'll be focused on the technical aspects of the game, as well as the replayability and the grind. Anyways, hopefully this helps. And hopefully I will see y'all in game.